Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new international news compilation on 24 Hours channel, the channel that provides useful information and continuously updates the latest news on a daily basis, including the situation in the East Seas. Today we have the following main contents.
Ladies and gentlemen, nature has unleashed its fury, and the calamity is wreaking havoc on the regime of Mr. Xi Jinping, causing nearly 1 billion innocent people to bear the burden of his governance. This is truly a heartbreaking situation for the people of China. Storms, floods, hailstorms, and unprecedented natural disasters are engulfing China, bringing the apocalypse to the downstream of the Tamheap Dam and completely overwhelming the capital city of Beijing and several provinces in the southern region, such as Guangdong and Guangxi, bordering Vietnam. According to the China Meteorological Administration, the storms and floods continue to ravage the southern provinces of China, resulting in scenes of devastating floods, damaged roads, bridges, and the disruption of China's national power grid. Airports, train stations, and ports across China are submerged in floodwaters. However, the state-run China Central Television and major newspapers in the country have not reported on the heavy rain, strong winds, earthquakes, tsunamis, and hailstorms that have occurred in recent days. They have not shown the images of cars and motorcycles being swept away in the rushing rivers. Heavy rainfall continues to occur in the southern part of the mainland. A hydropower plant in Huagyang, Guangdong, suffered embankment breaches and was surrounded by floods. The rising water levels in the Dongjiang River caused by heavy rain have led to floods and landslides in many areas of Guangxi. These events have left the Chinese government, headed by Xi Jinping, deeply troubled. However, they are powerless in the face of these natural disasters. It is true that it takes years to build something, but it only takes an hour to destroy it. The government of Xi Jinping can only express regret and remorse, praying for nature to cease its punishment of China, but this is proving to be difficult. The crimes committed by China are not insignificant, so it is only fair that the punishment is severe. However, it is worth noting that nature has been excessively harsh on China. It would be wonderful if nature targeted the officials within the Xi Jinping regime specifically. Unfortunately, it is the innocent people of China who are living under these devastating circumstances. Floods, landslides, earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions have occurred one after another in recent days, forcing nearly 1 billion Chinese people to evacuate and seek refuge. Ladies and gentlemen, after China was hit by floods, landslides, earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions in recent days, many international experts have analyzed that the Chinese government's approach was too conservative. They made decisions to construct various projects without listening to scientists and experts, resulting in unauthorized urban planning, land reclamation, deforestation, and mountain destruction, which have significantly disrupted the natural ecosystem in those areas. Naturally, when you shoot a giant bullet at nature, it will respond with numerous atomic bombs. This is the catastrophe that China is currently enduring, the price it has to pay. The state-run China Central Television only briefly reported that the recent floods, landslides, and tsunamis claimed the lives of 20 people. However, in reality, the death toll in China has reached hundreds of thousands, and the economic losses are immeasurable, according to the monitoring agencies of natural disasters, floods, droughts, tsunamis, earthquakes, and volcanic eruptions in the United States and Japan in recent days. Each day brings news of continuous natural disasters befalling China. The Beijing government is urging more than 26 provinces in the southern and eastern regions of China to remain vigilant, as the prolonged heavy rainfall shows no signs of abating. Ladies and gentlemen, according to observers, the situation in China is entirely caused by the leader of the Beijing government, Mr. Xi Jinping. For a long time, his government has pursued a completely misguided approach, going against the laws of nature. So, what exactly is the wrongdoing here? It is China's continuous disturbance and aggression in the East Sea, attempting to invade the waters, seize the territories and maritime regions of neighboring countries. Along with that, the destruction of nature has led to environmental pollution and various other issues around us. Humans are no match for nature. Therefore, we should let everything unfold according to the laws of nature and the laws of survival. Now, the suffering and damage are inflicted on the innocent people of China alone. Those with wealth and means can seek refuge abroad to avoid storms, earthquakes, tsunamis, etc. But those without means, along with children and the elderly, have to climb high mountains or return to remote rural areas to endure the hardships. Dear audience, consecutive natural disasters are striking China, and the number of casualties is continuously increasing. Over 800 people have lost their lives, and more than 270 people are missing in China due to the continuous series of natural disasters since the beginning of this year. According to the national media reports, recent flooding has affected the central and northeastern regions of China, with severe storms and tornadoes wreaking havoc in Jiangsu province, killing at least 98 people. Xinhua news agency cited information from the Ministry of Public Security, stating that since August 2022, 1,074 people have died due to natural disasters. Specifically, from December until now, 833 people have lost their lives, and 270 people are missing. In the past week alone, storms and floods have claimed the lives of 164 people and left 125 people missing. According to the Ministry of Public Security, the total economic losses from natural disasters in 2022 amounted to 298 billion Chinese yuan, equivalent to over 44.6 billion USD, with a total of about 400,000 homes destroyed and 6.24 million people displaced. Over 31 million people have been affected by floods and storms. Meanwhile, the situation in Qingtai City, Hebei Province, has become extremely tense. The local residents accuse the provincial government of releasing floodwaters from the reservoir upstream without any prior notice. As a result, at least 134 people have died, and more than 110 people are missing. According to the China Earthquake Network Center, the earthquake had a focal depth of 8 kilometers. Although the epicenter was located 1,000 kilometers northeast of Wuhan, China, the high intensity was enough to cause tremendous chaos. The government of Xi Jinping is in a state of shock, as if the sky had fallen. If the seismic activity were to shift just a few hundred kilometers further, perhaps the 700 million people residing in the downstream areas of the Tam Heap Dam in 6 provinces would have been swept away and submerged deep beneath the East Sea. That implies that 2/3 of China will be completely wiped out. It can be asserted that if that happens, in 100 years, the Chinese people may not be able to rise again. Ladies and gentlemen. Prior to this, at 10:38 local time, the China Geological Center reported a strong earthquake in the city of Hebei, China, with a magnitude of up to 6.9 on the Richter scale. The epicenter was located at a depth of 9 kilometers, and there is currently no accurate information about the damage caused by the earthquake. However, residents in surrounding areas such as Shanghai, Beijing, and Tianjin all felt the aftershocks of this earthquake. According to local witnesses, this area has previously experienced 3 major earthquakes with magnitudes ranging from 4.3 to 6.1 on the Richter scale, including the most horrifying earthquake in 1995 AT. That time, the earthquake had a magnitude of 7.9 on the Richter scale, causing nearly 169 Chinese people to go missing. It was considered a terrifying and the worst event, which still haunts the people in that area. Many people feel sorry for and sympathize with the misfortune of the unfortunate Chinese people. However, there have been strange phenomena and bad omens, such as flocks of birds filling the sky and millions of locusts from Africa flying over 5 provinces in China. The sky over Beijing has been continuously subjected to major disasters. According to the China Earthquake Administration, there is a high possibility of another earthquake occurring in China in the coming days. Dear viewers, China is currently facing numerous disasters and calamities, from epidemics to natural disasters. It's like sowing the wind and reaping the whirlwind, whether sooner or later. Karmic retribution often comes late. Economically, China seems to be plunging into a deep abyss due to the successive blows of the United States, along with the Wuhan virus pandemic spreading throughout the mainland of China. Most recently, Japan and the European Union have also announced cutting off all business ties with China. In recent years, China has faced continuous natural disasters, especially earthquakes, epidemics, storms, floods, and forest fires. Nowadays, Beijing arrogantly claims to be the center of the world, wanting things to go as it wishes. But China has made a big mistake because this country has been burdened with the wrath of Mother Nature, the land, and the heavens since the beginning of this year, with storms, earthquakes, and forest fires. Ladies and gentlemen, no matter how powerful China may be, it can never change the laws of nature with a single hand. And if the government of Xi Jinping still does not repent and continues to deploy warships, shoot live ammunition, and launch missiles in the East Sea, then undoubtedly, the calamities will continue to befall China. It is the law of goodness encountering good fortune, and wickedness will bring suffering.
Go with the detailed summary of the key highlight of the day from 24 Hours channel. Thank you all for paying attention and staying tuned until the end of this video. Please leave your comment in the comment section below for us to respond in a timely manner. Goodbye and see you again in the next video.